Hello, and welcome to Cahnmann's Current Event Roundtable. Today we have an amazing guest. Yes, Mark, you are an amazing guest. I have an attorney here, Mark Levitt, who is running for Circuit Court Judge. And I want to welcome you to our show.
Thank you so much.
And I'm very, very impressed by your credentials. And it says, Mark Levitt, who is highly recommended by the Lake County Bar Association and who also has the highest rating from the Illinois State Bar Association. How did you get this? I mean...
Boy, I think I don't need to say anything else. I think you said it all. Actually, the two ratings I'm actually very proud of. The rating from the bar associations means a lot. The Lake County Bar Association in particular does a very thorough background search. They interview the lawyers that you work with, they interview the lawyers that you work against, the judges before whom you appear, they look into your background, and after that's all said and done, if that's not enough, they interview you extensively. And the fact that they chose to give me their highest rating was a great honor to me and something I'm very proud of. And the same with the Illinois State Bar Association. Whenever you're recognized by your peers and you're given that type of support, you're very much appreciative of it, and I am very appreciative of those two things.
That's really good. You know, Mark, it's interesting. I mean, when we go to vote, and we get a judge, you know, I get the judges, we all do in the, you know, on the ballot. And here you got this wonderful rating. Why don't we, the people, sounds like we, the people, the United States, why don't we get to know who the judges are? Because when I get into that ballot box, I don't know who the judges are. And I mean, unless I know you or I know somebody personally. And how do we know the people, know who the people are to vote for? I know there's, I know the Illinois Bar Association or the Chicago Bar Association, they put something out, but if you're not lucky, I mean, I happened to get that one time because I was in somebody's current events class, and she passed it out. Her husband happened to be president of one of the bar associations, so she made sure that her class got the people, who the right people to vote for. And why are they not telling us? So when we get into that, you know, ballot, when we get into...
You know who to vote for.
Who to vote for.
You make a good point, and it's actually very close to my heart because I served for years in the Chicago Bar Association Judicial Evaluation Committee, first in the investigation unit and later in the hearing division. And you're right, those lawyers, you know, that work with me, we spend a lot of time investigating judicial candidates with the hope that people in the community will listen and learn from the people that are spending the time investigating these candidates. Unfortunately, a lot of the groups that do this don't have the budget to, you know, publicize a lot of these things. Some of the Chicago Bar Association's evaluations are made more public, and they do print little cards that people can carry around. But unfortunately, not all the bar groups do it. So what I tell people is, I say, get informed. My own friends and people that I've met during the course of the campaign, some even lawyers, surprise me by saying, you know, I get to the judicial race and I don't vote. And I say, why don't you do that? And they are very concerned, and they say, because I don't want to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the answer to that is not to not vote. The answer to that is to become an informed voter, do the research into the candidates, and make an informed decision. And I very much hope that they'll do that.
Yeah, because we get candidates all the time. I mean, I'm getting so many things through the mail, and yet I don't get anything about, you know,
judicial candidates. Even my own friends say, you know, you're running for judge. To a lot of people, that's like running for dog catcher. Nobody cares. Yeah. And I say, yeah, you know what, you're right. Unless you wind up in court, people unfortunately don't think about judicial candidates very much. So it's shows like yours, and it's word of mouth, and it's people doing independent research that's going to make the difference in making sure that the people that get elected to serve in this incredibly important position are the right people.
Yeah, because you don't want to get to a judge and he doesn't judge you the way you should be judged. I mean, you should be, you know, in fact, when we were talking about that earlier, and I was having a hard time understanding. Now, I know that you're running on the Democratic ticket. And, you know, as you know, you're coming to a non-party girl. I'm an independent. And I believe strongly that candidates that run for judge shouldn't be Democrat. They shouldn't be Republican. They should be just running for judge. Why do we, and I think you mentioned there are some states that that are appointed, but that's a problem too. Why do they have to? Why can't they just run without a party ticket?
You know, maybe that's one of the things that we need to look to in the future, is trying to have more nonpartisan, balloting for certain races, because the truth is, when you run for judge, you're running for a very nonpartisan position. And you certainly, and I certainly believe very strongly in that there is no place for partisan politics in the judiciary at all. The system, the way it is now, including the primary system, requires that people take up an affiliation or run as an independent and participate in the system that we have. And the system we have now, while far from perfect, is certainly a pretty good system. So you're right, labeling's not good. And it's actually very interesting, because one of the things that was really impressive to me, and actually your own daughter and son-in-law support me, and they were very interested in telling people that they were of the opposing party, that they were actually Republicans.
Yes, I saw their sign.
That's
Republicans
right.
for Mark.
And that they actually support me as well.
Yes.
And I very much appreciate that, because I think that that is a recognition of the fact that this is a nonpartisan position.
Right.
And I think that people that do the research, whether they categorize themselves typically as Republicans or Democrats or independents, I'm happy to have all of their support. And I very much, I want everybody to know that that is what the appropriate thing to do, is to elect candidates for important positions.
Exactly. And I think when you're running for the circuit court, and I know in Lake County, for instance, there are, I think there is only, out of 12 or 13 candidates, there's only one Democrat that sits on the bench right now.
That's
is that
true.
Correct?
That's true. There are 13 circuit court judges currently, and only one of them was elected as a Democrat. That's true.
I see. So sometimes when you have that type of politics, you're wondering when the judges, they're all slanted one way, and a judge should be open-minded, and that's why, we have in our own system, Congress should be. I mean, I like to see our Congress even more, one Democrat and Republican. Right now, it's all a Democrat, and then before George Bush was all Republican. I like to see the balance of power, and I'd like to see the balance of power, with the judges too. Since they're still in the Democrat-Republican type of thing, I still would like to see a balance of power. And a lot of people don't know this about Lake County. I mean, believe it or not, I just found that out recently, that there was only one other Democrat out of 13 people sitting there. That was kind of I was kind of shocked by that. Mark, why did you want to become? I know you're an attorney, and you also were with public defender. And why do you want to be a judge? What brought you into this? And I don't know if we have a picture right now, but I know Mark has a wonderful family. When you can put it up there, they'll put up. There he is. I see. There you are, Mark. There you are with your wife, Kathy.
That is my wife, Kathy. And from left to right, that would be my daughter, Marissa. She is 15 and a sophomore at Deerfield High School. My son, Jacob, who is 13. He is an 8th grader at Crusoe Middle School. My daughter, Abigail, who is 11 years old, and she's now a 6th grader at Crusoe. And finally, my last elementary school girl, that's Tess. She is really something, and she is in the 4th grade at Wilmot Elementary School.
What a beautiful, beautiful family.
Thank you.
It's really nice, and you're into so many things besides running for judge. I know you're on so many different. You're from the Deerfield Public School System. You sit on the board there. You're the league president of the Deerfield Youth Baseball Game. You're a member of Deerfield Rotary. I mean, there's so many things that you're part of, and I think that makes a really nice round.
Well, you started.